Greetings, listeners. Welcome to the Whip 12 podcast. My name is Raymond, and I'm here with Christian.
Hello, everyone. My name's Christian.
Yes. So we got a two-host episode, no special guests. And what we're going to talk about is Hexadome Legends, the revival of the old Aristea game in a new form, new package, and I might say a lot of fun. But before we do, Christian, how have you been doing?
I've been quite all right. We've been having summer vacation, and that's just a lot of time to go and spend with family and just keeping busy with that in the new house. So I'm just been staying busy and very little hobby time, but doing my best to keep it steady.
Oh, nice, man. Yeah, moving.
What about yourself?
I've been solid. We've run our first ever 2-day satellite event in the Netherlands, where I've been a TO under the provision of Hydra and Problem from the Brabantian side of our little meta in the Netherlands, and that was quite good. I've got some recordings on that laying actually here around here, but it's probably it will be a pain to edit. So I promise you I will get that one in, but I don't know when because I did the recording on my phone. Some things good, some things bad. Maybe it will never appear, but it was a hell of a lot of fun. Got like 34 peoples. Like the farthest away was someone from Boston who came all the way to the Netherlands just to play this little game with us. And we've all been beaten by a Belgian.
Yeah. Okay, 34 people is really good for a first satellite. So
yeah.
Congrats on that. That's really good. And sorry about losing it to a Belgian person.
Yeah. It's our honorary Dutchman to be honest, because the Belgian meta is even smaller than the Dutch meta. So he actually just every tournament that he plays at with us in the Netherlands, because there's not much. If he wants a tournament in Belgium, he has to organize it himself. So
fair enough. How many people would you say are in the Dutch and Belgian meta?
The Dutch one. I think we're actually, if we would all press them together, I think there's 50 plus people. But in Belgium, maybe if 6 people play it, it's a lot. So
pretty good.
Yeah. It's getting sizable. That's most of the time I've spent playing intro games with people who want to come in. Like there's a serious interest. I got like four new people just playing again in the last few months. So either I've been doing introductory games or the Dutch Open.
Yeah, we've been getting quite a few. We've been getting an uptick in the Danish meta as well. We've been getting, I think, like 3-4 new people in the last couple of months, which is really nice.
Very nice. Yeah.
So I've also been doing quite a few intro games and getting people into the game. It's a lot of work, but it pays off.
Yeah. Because you have to get them through the door at some point.
to have actual play. Them to buy the first miniature and get them, knowing how to do the metal if they don't do that, or the pewter if they're just only used to plastic. So yeah, it's a bit of a learning curve.
Yeah, so awesome. Yeah, so new players for Infinity. Don't know if they want to play Hexadome as well, because this is a Corvus Belly. Send me a copy without much brouhaha. They just send me one, so I could have gone like thanks and never talk about it again. But I got the new box, and Christian, you had the honor of playing Hexadome Tactics, so that's the digital version.
That is the digital version I've gotten in with one of the keys, and it's actually quite a lot of fun. But of course, being summer, I haven't had a chance to play that much of it. But it's quite interesting, and I think it can go a little bit further than it currently is, since it's still in beta. But I think I'm allowed to talk about that. Yeah. I'm not under an NDA for that. So it's quite fun. So I'm also quite interested in getting the new Hexadome Legends at some point. Yeah. Since it looks like it could be a nice 2-player game. If you're not, my hope is that it's for the days when you can't exactly, you don't have the mental capacity to do infinity, and you can just tell your opponent, "Hey, man, I didn't get a very good night's rest, and I'm a little bit overheated mentally, so I would like a little something more beer and pretzely today."
Yeah.
So that's what I'm hoping for with this game. So that's why I'm also interested in talking with you about it, to hear your first impressions.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Well, we'll be. It's the pre-order will open from the July 30th to August 17th. So yeah, you can go to the Infinity Universe website, check the Hexadome Legends page. Yeah, and this is yeah. If you want to compare it to Infinity, well, this you can play just on any table. You don't have to like have a 4x4 feet area stacked with buildings, and you just go on the table with 8 miniatures for a piece. And I must say, it is just it is Aristea in a new coat, but a very nice coat. I might add. I have played Aristea in the past when it came out. I think I got most of the expansions, but not all of them. So I got like 20 miniatures laying about. Have played it a few times in the past, but yeah, it wore off a bit at some point. Mostly because it was like biting into my Infinity time, so I was rather playing Infinity than playing Aristea. But
since you've played the old Aristea,
yeah.
what would you say is the biggest difference between Aristea and Hexadome Legends? Just with having read the rulebook and gotten your first game in.
Well, from the start, it's the miniatures are quite sensibly different. Like when Aristea was announced in the past, they would Corvus Belli would let the miniatures be printed in China. So they had a Chinese distributor, and they would do the miniatures and the plastics. Yeah, they're this soft plastic that you find familiar with board games, which didn't have the detail that you mostly are familiar with when you get a pewter miniature from Infinity. So they were the same size, but it was a bit of a letdown when it came to the quality of the miniatures. Still very representable if you come from a board game perspective. This is a lot of detail. But now they've switched to Unicool, which is very cool because for any of us who play Warcrow, when you get either the Siocast or the Unicool miniatures, the Unicool are just straight up better and nicer to have. So they have put in the Unicool miniatures. They are a bit upsized. So where we had with Aristea, we had like the Infinity size models. You now have Warcrow size models. And
are they on 32mm bases?
No, the bases are
28 or 24.
I'm going to open the box and check if they are the same size.
You don't have a ruler and compass at your desk to measure?
No.
Oh my gosh.
Oh shit, the miniatures are still on my painting desk.
Uh-oh. That's awkward. That's really awkward, Raymond.
That's really awkward.
Wow.
All right.
So you can measure one of the X's
we
and
got
see
some
the
technical difficulties over here. Get the miniatures.
Do you need to take a break and go get them? All right.
I will cut this part out.
A few moments later.
I got the miniatures now. And the miniatures are quite a size bigger. They're more Warcrow sized than they are Infinity sized. But they are on 28mm basis. And compared to the Unicool from Warcrow, these are all one-piece miniatures. So
just letting you catch your breath a little bit from running down the stairs to get your models.
I've got 3 sets of stairs.
You literally sprinted down. I gotta hear you. Just yeah. Okay, so the new bases are 28mm, which I think is so Infinity are on 25, and Warcrow are on 30mm bases.
Yeah, so they're a little bit bigger than Infinity bases. They barely fit in the hex on the board, but they fit. And yeah, so they're one-piece miniatures. So compared to the Warcrow, that's a slight loss in detail, I think, compared to the Warcrow ones. I put some paint on my Hexadome models. They're quite pristine. They're better than the older ones. But since they have brought them in one piece, they compared to the Warcrow ones, they have less detail, but still very crisp. I might add. Like if I take one of the newer ones, Afara, the one that comes now. It's like he's the Hakislam genie.
Mhm.
He has like a pen diagram on the back of his jacket, which is just cut in. So I know from and Gata, she has like a little kitten on her shirt, which is still very visible. I know from when they launched Aristea, like they showed us back then. They showed us the renders that they had, the digital renders, and Gata was seen there sprinting and with Gata on the side of her pants. But once we got the models, the Gata was nowhere to be seen. And now they surely make sure that they have details, and it's very fun that Gata is she's on the base and just jumping around the place, which is exactly what she does in the game.
So did they come attached to their bases?
They come attached to their bases. They're just
Okay.
totally one-piece base.
Okay, that's really good for the casual hobbyist. Is that there's no assembly required for
no
any of this?
assembly required. No.
Okay,
You can play this straight from the box with just gray models.
Okay, that's really cool. From a onboarding perspective, that's really neat.
Also, the box,
Okay.
yeah, they have their neat little nookies in the plastic where you can put in the models. Different places where you can put the different tokens that you have. A place for the cards, a place for the dice, and it all fits together. The arena, the playing board is just this thick carton, which looks really nice. And then you have the 2 player boards. And the rules, they've separated the rules in either a bigger book that's to learn to play and a reference guide. Don't be fooled by the name reference guide, that's just the full rule book. But that's just from A to B. If you want to start with the game, the learn to play book is a good way to go, because it brings you actually from start to finish, from what you got, what it all means in general, to literally going step by step to just one round of Hexadome, and where you from that point on you could pick up the game and play it the full 5 rounds or until you have the 8 points. So so it's very neatly packaged. I think for the miniatures alone, it's already a reason to pick it up, because they are actually quite good.
But they can't be used for Infinity yet, but they definitely look really cool. One last question about the miniatures. Which is your favorite sculpt so far?
My favorite sculpt? Oh, I think the one of the newer Obake. I think she's a very cool one. She has
the Oni, yeah.
Yeah, the Oni with the 2 big chain swords. It's really something else. And in the game, she's also very fun.
She looks defensive based like Maximus, right?
Yeah. She has the same kind of role, like being in the way and being able to heal her own damage slowly. Yeah. So that means she's just she's there to tank, which is very nice. But I also like Tangerine with the wings. That's really reminiscent from another Overwatch character, because Aristea was launched at the time that Overwatch was the game was pretty big. So it tries to go to the same well when you see the characters.
Was Tangerine released in Aristea?
No. So if you go down the list, like there are the 4. When Aristea, we have the four old ones. So we have Musashi, we have Gata, we have Hexer, and we have Maximus. Those were from the first starter set, but the rest, Beatbox, Tangerine, Obaka, and Afara, those are 4 new characters that they introduced that haven't been like in any of the expansions, so they're totally new. They didn't exist in Aristea.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So from presentation wise, it's a leg up from Aristea. And when I look at the rules, some changes have been done. I might add I've played Aristea, but I think Aristea got an update in it well, but I wasn't playing the game anywhere close when they started updating. So maybe some of the things that I mentioned might have already been changed in Aristea, but I don't know. So I can see from my base game compared to the Hexadome base game that profiles have been updated by how much energy they give, or how much movement they have, or how much health they have. Initiative, those things have been changed. Some dices have gone around. So and I think from my first practice game that I felt that some miniatures could do more than they did in the past. I found that, and probably what got me off Aristea is that the dice, they're not D20s, they're the blue, red, and yellow, and all those colored dice. Some are more in the defense ones, which are the green, blue, and black, and the offensive ones, which are the yellow, orange, and red. And depending on the dice color, they do a bit more. So black and yellow are the weaker dices when it comes to defense and offense, and they slowly go up from those colors, where red and green, like, they got the crits on them. But then again, where the green and red are more like the offense and defenses, the middle ground dice have more options that you can get your switches off.
Yeah.
So
the dice symbols are the same from what's used in Warcrow.
Yeah.
Right? But Warcrow uses D8s, and Hexadome Legends uses D6.
D6, yes.
Right. So how easy do you think it would be to learn if you've only played Warcrow and you want to get into Hexadome Legends? Would you be able to understand the dice rolls and the player cards?
I think so, because I think, like, Aristea is the origin for the dice that we know and love in Warcrow. But I think Hexadome, from what I've seen from the abilities that have changed a little, that they've learned from what they learned in Warcrow and also in Defiance. Because I think in Aristea, in the first edit, the switches were way, like, you chose either your attack or you chose a switch. You were always going between the two. And now I see from the cards that actions are you will not, the switches will not maybe take a shield or a hit and turn it into a switch, where in the past it was way more like, do you hit or do you switch? So I think they cleaned that up a bit more, and that's what they learned from Warcrow, because Warcrow also had that problem at first, and they, with the updates, have taken that out more, that you can do and your attacks and your defenses and the switches more, which helped, because I found Aristea games to either be that the difference of a hit, depending on the defense, didn't do a lot. Like, it was very stalemate-y, unless the rolls were wild and that that someone had all the hits, and then the defending opponent rolled all the blanks, and then a character will die all of a sudden. But in the rest of the game, it didn't matter a lot, and you were always like, I could take a switch, but it's probably better to take my shield, because else my character is dead.
Yeah. Okay. So that sounds pretty good. That sounds like they've refined and polished the diamond that they had. Yeah.
I think I refined it from from Warcrow and went back to the base game. Like, oh, we learned a thing or two, and let's refresh this game. Let's refresh the grandfather of all things.
Yeah. Okay, so you've gotten one game under your belt, you mentioned,
Yeah.
right? Just we're doing this. you just got the box and you're like, hey, let's do a recording. So you got one game.
Yeah.
And how did that go? Who was that against?
Neat. Just my wife.
Okay, so it was a husband and wife game, and that sounds actually pretty promising for where I'm at in life. Okay.
just doing that, I had to find someone at a quick notice, and I would just wanted to just get the feeling. I knew that I've played several Aristea games. I've played Aristea for a year, for the first year that it existed. So at least 10 games or something around that note. So I was really like,
No, I was going to ask a question, but continue.
Yeah. So I just wanted to get the feeling like, is this the same game? Has it changed? Has it changed for the better? I think this is not a full review, but an impression. I think we can, once the expansions come out, we can revisit and see and talk a little bit more and deeper about the game. But from what I've seen,
from one game, you can get an idea of if it's an easy game to learn and teach, your significant other, right?
Yeah.
If you're able to sit down and explain it to somebody that doesn't necessarily have the same background in Warcrow and Infinity, and explain a 4v4 game with 4 heroes, and you're able to get a good game off, that just sounds pretty nice.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just you wanna do something in the evening. You wanna watch a movie or wanna shuffle some plastic around.
Yeah. So how'd the game go though? Like, was it close? Was it a blowout or what?
It was a bit of a blowout, and I got ruffle stomped because
nice.
Like I played the side, like we just went through the booklet and like did the first steps. So when you have the booklet, like it really goes down from you see the activation. The game already decides which activations you're gonna do, which steps, and also it already fills out the roles. So I took the side of like the old guard. I went with Maximus, Hexer, Gata, and Miyamoto, which in the book is also they also already paired up which ones you had, and so in the game you already get some licks in on Maximus before you really go, because he will get not once but twice poisoned and a few hits. And that meant in the game that I was pretty, when the next round went in, Maximus went out, Geta went out.
Wow.
Beatbox is a real damage dealer. I found out once, if Beatbox is able to mark a target, it does not need to see line of fire to the target, and then he can do his attack, and that attack was pretty destructive. So he took out Gata, took out Maximus in round 1, Gata in round 2, Maximus, and then round 3 Miyamoto didn't stand a chance. So I lost every round. A character was dropped off the board. Luckily, Gata is one heck of a fast unit. So once you put her on the board when you play Conquest, you just make sure she drops in a zone next to it and can jump over an obstacle and can really get into it. So it went a draw in the first round. Second round, she took some points. Third round, I could draw because Gata was back. But after that, like round 4 and 5, she took me over because Maximus is once he comes back, he's not that fast, and she took his own way on the other side. So I couldn't get really close in. So and then Miyamoto was gone, so she had a bit. She could easily get around, and Hexer is really handy to move models around. But once people start dying, they are all over the place. So I couldn't get into cohesion again to really make Hexer work and push all my models into zones.
Okay.
So by the time
So you got
I got spread out a bit, and that didn't help me to get back in.
yeah, because it looks like in the Hexadome that you have it's quite objective based,
Yeah,
right? So that's one thing that looks quite interesting is that objectives are kind of baked into the whole game.
yeah,
In that you have your 4 heroes, and the whole goal is not necessarily to put the other person on their bench by knocking them out, but to go and complete them. All right, that's
Yeah.
quite interesting. Thank you for the rundown.
So and you need to lose from your wife. That's something you just need to do. If you're a happy wife, happy life. So I did my part.
That didn't sound like it was completely planned, though. So let's like that sound like you
I'm
got
trying to save
outplayed.
face a bit with her, like.
Yeah.
So so the things that I found out in that game is that they really not only that they did the stats and the switches are more slick, so you really are doing your attacks and using your switches for the most part. So I really got the feeling that units are doing more their thing than what was originally planned with Aristea in the past. Like they're really playing through their strengths. Like my memories of Miyamoto were like, all right, this is this cool swordsman, but in the original Aristea, I found him a wet noodle. just not hitting at the speed that I would expect from such a swordmaster. But in this game, he went out one time, but he was able to do some attacks in because he can with his switch can at least get an attack for free if you get the switch off, which is very handy. So he's way more fighting. But if you send him after like an Afara, which that is a crazy unit. Like if Afara is next to a wall, that's where I want to go to. These new cards. The cards they did more justice, because in the past the idea of the cards were that you have some general cards in your hand, but per character you get like 4 unique cards that you add to your deck, and you start off with drawing 4. You can take a mulligan if those 4 aren't to your interest, and then when you score points or you kill a character, you are allowed to draw more cards, and they are now, like in the past, if you get like a card could be used by anybody, even from a character like Maximus, he could give his card, and then you have with block that any character could use it by a defense roll that you can block by 2 extra blue dice, which is very handy and is interesting for Maximus, but you can use it as well for others. But now they've added up to it that if you use it on Maximus, Maximus gets extra bonuses. With some cards, it's like with Gata, she has cards where it gives an extra movement. But in her case, if she uses the card on herself, she can either choose for the movement or choose to go for an action point, which is really great. Like you're gathering your cards, so you can use it on your hero, and the hero gets something extra or gets a choice, which I find very cool indeed. Still, I think there's sometimes a bit discrepancy between the cards that you get in general, like aim. It's just an extra orange dice, which can be very handy. No is a pretty heavy card. Like that card you can spend, like if someone plays their card, you can play a no, and then that whole card has been gets nullified. But some of the cards in here that can be like game changers. With Afara, as long as he is close to a wall, or an element or an object, he can play a card that all the damage that he gets will go on that obstacle. So nullifies. So you might have Miyamoto. You come in and like I got 7 damage on you, you little spirit. Gonna kill your ass, and then all of a sudden all that damage goes into a wall. And Maximus also has a card where he just like he can ignore all the damage that comes in and heal 6. So
yeah, that would have been really good if he was poisoned. You know, if someone decided to poison Maximus, that would have come in really handy, huh?
I didn't have that card in hand when it happened to him.
But you get to draw. You get to look at all 4 and then draw, right? So that you start the game with 18 cards in your hand, right? 2 for each of the characters.
4 cards in it.
No. You have to discard 2 of them from each of the characters. So Maximus has 4 unique cards, and you're only able to take 2 into any individual match. So you have all 10 tactical cards on your hand, plus the 8 that you draft in.
Yeah, I did it wrong. All right.
It's okay. I'll forgive you, Raymond. I'll forgive you. You are hereby forgiven. It's okay.
Oh, I did them all in the deck because I thought you could do them all, and that's something I passed over. And I was like, man, then stuff gets really random.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my! I got the Gata card, and I don't have Gata. Oh gosh. Yeah.
All right, that explains it a lot. Yeah, I forgot about that rule. Now that you say it, I'm like, yeah, we did that in our stay. Oh. Sometimes rules, but that's part of it. Like, oh man, look at my first 3 months of Infinity in 2nd edition. Man, I got so much.
Man, I'm still learning Infinity. I don't know about you. I make wrong calls all the time.
Wrong calls is part of the experience, but just not knowing the rules, that's something else.
I walked a camo token past a mine the other day, and I forgot that mines activate on camo tokens because I very rarely play camo, and I was like, oh, that sucks. And then the turn after my opponent. Then the turn after my opponent walked his camo token past my crazy koala, and the crazy koala didn't go off because crazy koalas don't go off to camo. And I was like, I'm an idiot. I'm an absolute idiot.
Different unit, different rules.
Yeah. And I was like, yeah. So you shouldn't feel bad about missing a rule in a game you've played once. So.
All right. So yeah, you can choose the cards. So that's really something.
Okay.
But they really they overhauled those cards, looked at them, and like, how can we make these characters feel a little bit more special if you play a little card? Plus, they how the states work now, that's also been refined. Because I found them in the original Aristea all a bit annoying. Like you put a state on a character, but sometimes those states either had an effect or didn't have an effect. Because once the character was activated, it could been removed. So sometimes you taunted the character with Maximus, hoping that he would attack them. But yeah, by one activation, it was already gone. Now they have changed it, and I think for the better. Like they made sure that it would only be removed after you did something. So like taunting is now like, all right, you first had to at least do an attack against the character that taunted you, and then it's removed, or at least give the poison off at least once, and then it's removed, or with the marked state if it's been used. So they make sure that it's now not just ending by the character's activation, but it's ending by it's at least used once.
Yeah, so you have in the states phase, or in all the states, you have an effect, and then the aftermath, and then the advance. So you kind of progress through the state, so that it's not just binary. It's hey, this state can have multiple different effects.
Yeah.
So an example of that is exhausted. You start by having your energy reduced by 2, but the aftermath of that is your energy is reduced by 1, and then, for example, after gain, and then you advance after the aftermath. So, then it just progresses like that. So that's pretty cool. While, for example, blinded is you cannot target anything. Like the effect is you cannot target anything out of 0 to 1. That's kind of how blinded you would assume that would work. And then of course the aftermath is you remove the state. That's pretty cool, actually.
Yeah.
Okay.
They make sure that the effects work and at the moment that they are interesting
Mhm.
to work, and then only work once. Where in our Staya games they just stay the whole activation. Either they were a nuisance or not used or didn't come up, or they stayed for too long and like with the smoke and with the I don't know if the smoke and fire are not a part of the game yet, but they were in Arstea. So I think that once Cosmo and Mendoza show up, we will get smoke and fire again. But I know from the games that I played against some of the players in my meta then that they could really rip me apart with those skills, and I was like, all right, I'm trying to taunt you, but it doesn't matter with Maximus. Because we're smoking and firing and also all that stuff. So I'm it gives me at least that they looked at the states and made them far more interesting than they were in the earlier edition.
Yeah, should go on to expansions. We haven't mentioned this yet.
Yeah.
So
this-
they're coming out with the core game soonish. I'm not sure if they've had a release date yet. Do you know?
I don't believe. Let's see. Let's check the website. No, they just have sent out an. So there is the option for just available on July 30th. So they're gonna pre-order from then, and then they're gonna send them out.
Okay.
That's what they show on the website.
Yeah, and it looks like they'll be announcing that you'll have they'll have an expansion every 3 months after that.
Yeah.
So they've got some expansions planned, and I believe it was like 4 expansions already planned for Hexadome Legends. So that looks pretty cool and pretty promising. That we'll have some progress going on with that.
Yeah, and it seems like that the next one that comes up is Cold Blood, which has Valkyrie and Nadir. Valkyrie is an oldie. We already know her. She's also in the Infinity game, of course. And Nadir, that's a new one for me. Looks really cool with his 4 arms. Like he has his normal arms and then 2 robot arms. Dr. Octopus kind of looking fella. But yeah,
they've gotten happy for miniatures with 4 arms.
Yeah. So I asked for aliens. I
I
don't get
this
aliens,
is the best
I get
you get.
4 arms. Yeah, I was very close. Well, with the current state of the Infinity Universe, maybe they will send in alien Hexadome champions. Like
Yeah, the combined army might as well make an appearance. Yeah, it's not too far off.
Send me a monkey to fight.
Ready to bring out the next sculpt of Kodali. You know, we could use another Kodali sculpt. We only have like 6, so we could totally use another one.
That's something. Kodali just eating all the all the ones that they face.
Yeah, you don't get sent to a bench. You get sent to her barbecue. There we go.
An extra barbecue roll with barbecue sauce.
But yeah, so the game actually looks pretty promising. And if it's out for pre-order on the 31st of July, that's also really, really nice.
Yeah.
So one more question, I guess. My final question for you is: so this game to me seems a bit more beer and pretzels. It's a bit more type like, hey, baby, we don't have anything planned tonight. The baby's asleep. Should we get hot and spicy and play some, play some Legends, right? Yeah. And so my question to you, I guess, is how does it compare in the competitive level compared to, for example, Warcrow? I assume this is my assumption, but is it more beer and pretzels or child's asleep, let's play than that? Or is it more, do you see there being battles in leagues and I don't know, can you see this having international tournaments? Is kind of where I'm at.
I think I will see it as international tournaments because I've played these types of games and this is not it's easy to get into because it has like the presentation. If you have a unit, it has the card. It shows what it does. Once you go through the learn to play rules, you kind of get it on how it works. But the general game, like this way of you have to think about activating your units because there's you place your 4 cards on your board. You reveal every time you play both play the unit. You reveal which one you play next, depending on the initiative. Someone choose either to go first or second with those 2 models. So yeah, it's like an alternate. There's alternate activation, but with a twist in that way, and it really comes down to unit placement, movement, and the mission. There are several missions, but it mostly comes down to can you get the most units in a zone from game to game until you get your 8 points. And these movement shenanigans, some characters have them that they can displace or push or so you really need to be aware of what kind of team you send in, that it has everything you need, and that you can have either the right fighters or the right movement or the healing, so that you can compete. And every character just brings their own level to the game. Like Maximus is like this tanky dude that can displace units when he starts bashing with his shield. So it can be heading to make a push or just have that one step that you can push someone either off an objective or you step on an objective. And Hexer is just the queen of displacement, but is not a big fighter, but needs to be close enough to move characters. So it's always a bit of is she safe enough? Like your opponent taking her out takes a lot of movement away. So you really have to you could play beer and pretzels, like pick few characters, but you can end up in a situation where if someone has like a really planned out 4 characters and you just bring 4 randos, that you get your ass whooped pretty easily, because you looked at, well, these look cool, and then someone brings in a combination that can really floor you. So it has layers to it, like either what team you bring, how you activate them, in conjunction. So yeah, I think that this can be a very tournament heavy game to play. And if you play against someone just for the heck of it, then you have to make sure that you're not playing someone that has the most optimal team. Well, you're just like, I think Gata is cool, so I bring her. And
okay, so basically, if you want to be competitive, you need to get a whole game for yourself so that you kind of have that available. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. Have you played any other 1v1 fighting or dueling games similar to this? Like, have you played Blood Bowl or Shido or like Flesh and Blood?
I have played Blood Bowl. When I'm playing this, it also reminds me a lot of Moonstone that I'm currently playing, because that's in Blood Bowl you're not playing with a ball, you're playing in an arena, you're fighting, you're getting zones, but it's comparable in some way, that it's smaller sized. I think it's closer to Moonstone, where it's also important where you place your models.
In Moonstone, you have objectives, and there's actually no dice in Moonstone. That's a completely based card game, right? Where you you try and psych out your opponent. It's basically each engagement is a rock, paper, scissors, with some units having better rock, some units having better scissors, and you have to try and guess what they'll play, right?
Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah, and sometimes bringing units because that's where the comparison comes. Because sometimes with Moonstone, you're also not spending points on characters. When you draft your list, you just bring 4 characters, and they are each equal in points, but they bring their own abilities. Where the fighter one is less fast, and the healer one is not that combat heavy. The combat heavy one has not that many moves that it can take. So, and that's what's most comparable to Hexadome as well. Because you're making a team, you're looking for synergies between the units, because they are all equal in points, because you have just 4 slots to fill, and you fill it with the 4 units that you wanna use for this. But once
Okay.
you play competitive, you have your little roster that you bring, and you pick out the units that you wanna draft. So it is this drafting system. And you have to really make sure that your team works together finally.
Yeah. So, but Moonstone has drafting, right? So if you go to a
Yeah.
tournament with that, you bring 8 and play with 5, right? So you
You,
are only
you
able
bring
to.
you bring 10 to 12, and you
Oh, okay.
put in 6.
Oh, okay. Okay. Right. But you could do the similar thing with
Yeah,
Aristeo,
with
with
Aristea, there was
Hexadome.
also this system. I
Okay.
don't know the exact numbers, but you're always drafting, and once someone takes a character, you cannot take the same character, but it depended on the tournament.
Yeah. Okay.
Like I
Yeah.
know with Moonstone, it's like if you take a character, the other. You also have with Moonstone, you have different factions, so you choose a faction, and from that faction you draft.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
if
Here you don't have
or-
the same in
yeah,
Hexadome. You don't have the same limitations, or
no,
you don't have the same
anyone can
factions.
be in
Okay.
a team with anyone.
Yeah.
They don't mind.
Okay.
Nomad and
Thank you
Aleph
for
can live together.
clarifying that for me. That was
Yeah.
really nice.
So yeah, you just like, we can go over the profiles a bit if you want.
Sure.
Like it's a first impression, so
Mhm.
if you are like interested and you want to draw a team, like what are you getting from the 8 characters that you have? So we already said Maximus. If you get Maximus, yeah, it's a big dude with a shield. It's also the tallest unit that you can find in this box, and he's just all about being a tank, or even be able to, as with his skill behind me, to when a unit next to him suffers the damage, he will suffer the damage. And like he has got 7 health. So if you have Gata next to him, which has 2, it's pretty handy that you can sometimes take the damage of Maximus and Gata will be alive. So you will get him to take the brunt, and with his taunting ability be able to try and draw other fighting characters to attack him instead of units that are far weaker than him. So Maximus is an interesting one to have, and also his push and pull abilities that he can have on his cards, or his shield attack can be handy to make that little bit of movement to make sure that either you push someone off or push yourself on to a point.
Yeah, Maximus seems like just a big immovable wall. He just seems like, hey, I'm here. Like just similar to how he plays in Infinity. He just shows up and you have to. He's the ultimate distraction Carnifex, I think. But this one, it actually looks like you can push people around and kind of move around the battlefield. And if he shows up and he uses one of his abilities where he can take any amount of damage that an adjacent allies suffer, that he takes that instead, which is pretty cool, especially since he has 7 health.
Like the drawback is that he's kind of slow. When he draws out 2 action points, he only gets 4 movement instead of 5, which people get regular. So make sure that he's not going too far out on the Hexadome, because once you have to move to another zone, he might be out of the action. Gata I also very much like. Gata is like the opposite with her 2 health, but she's like crazy fast. And when I play her, she dies a lot, but that's okay because cats have 9 lives. Because with her free run ability, she can always like you have 5 movement, but once she touches a target, she can jump over it with one movement point. So that if you jump an obstacle, that in theory can be like a 2 extra movement from one movement ability. So she can quite easily, when she dies, comes back on the board, jumps into a zone, still scores. That's what she does all the time. Because she's not the fighter. She's a runner. So be aware that you will lose her a lot, but that's okay because she will score in the round that she comes back. So that's how I use her. Yeah, Musashi, I already talked a bit about him. He's the fighting guy or the damage dealer. Mostly you open up with he has 5 energy, but it can be very handy to use his switch to get his normal 2 attack, 2 energy attack, the Taitai no Shen, for free. So you do first his Keno Shen attack, and then you can do another attack on top. So he's the damage dealer, and yeah, his switch is also that he can move a shield and then put him some extra damage, turn it into a damage. So he's all about kicking ass. And in the game that I had, he is not a wet noodle like my experience with Arstea. So he can do some stuff. He killed Beatbox at some point, so I was very happy that he slayed him. Hexer, what I said, that's a bit your displacement character. Her switch is exclamation mark and shield, which gives her a displace herself. So she's always moving around, and her Vade Retro is her displace target ability that only costs 1 energy. So she does it multiple times with 3 yellow dice. So the chances of her moving around characters is pretty big. So, and it's very handy to either move people on the point, or when they are in an engagement that you don't want them in, but you don't want to risk the dodge roll. She displaces, and also in her cards she has some big displacement moments.
Yeah, every one of her cards looks like it can either displace or immobilize an enemy.
Yeah.
So yeah, every single one of her cards you can either push, displace, or immobilize. That's really cool.
Yeah, and since movement is king in this game, she is. Yeah, I think you will see her in lots of lists. Then we go over the new ones. So Beatbox, I already said. This is also a damage dealer, but starts off with he has the shield exclamation port that he can mark target, and that is something he generally wants to do before he attacks a person. So he has a cheap one, like a 1-point electric shock, that he can also stun someone, and with stun you take away a dice, I believe, from someone, so he can really cripple some actions. But make some noise, has an automatic damage, and then it's got like the red, orange, blue dice, but adds an extra damage if someone is not in line of sight. And when you mark a target, that can be damaged if then you don't need line of sight. So he marks someone and then puts a lot of noise on someone and damage it. It took out a few characters in my game. So I thought at first sight it doesn't look that big, but yeah, it's Beatbox is a pretty good damage dealer.
Yeah.
Plus his
and
cards
he also has a lot of control as well. So
yeah, his cards.
He's able to take control of enemy units. He has a card that can allow it to take control, and he has his speaker, which can also increase the movement speed.
Yeah.
So you can rush and slow down enemies.
Yeah, he can create zones, which is very very fun with the boxes.
Mm-hmm.
Where people are slowed down and actually probably have to take the time to remove those boxes. It's very fun. Afara, I think anyone who plays Afara just needs to know how to get Afara away from a wall, because he has these ghost-like abilities that he can go through walls, through obstacles, get some extra movement because of the moving through things. So it's like Gata jumps over things and Afara goes through things. So in that way, it has a bit of the same abilities, but it also has some cards where, you can just negate whole swats of damage, which can be very nice. So yeah, it's you just get like this specter, like spooky type of guy going around the battlefield. It's very nice to have.
You're very low health though, only 2 health.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
able
yeah.
to shield.
That's why he's so compatible to Gata, who's also like very low health. But Afara has some tricks up sleeve. You think you're attacking a 2 health guy, and all of a sudden all your damage is just worth nothing because he was standing next to a wall. So I would say always get Afara away from a wall and then start damaging him. Because then you kill. Then you probably kill him.
Yeah.
Yeah, Obake. She's comparable. The tank of the gang. Like she has this intimidating presence, so it's already if characters move into her, they first have to take like an agility test, and if you fail, you just stay out of her way, so she can be blocking an area around her, like 2 blocks away from her. So if you want to engage her, it's very handy to just have her on a position, and then all of a sudden Gata cannot move freely through her because she just takes up the room, which is very nice with her intimidating presence. And then she's also able to just shield herself, heal herself if she's shielded. So she builds up health, restores herself, and has a bit with Judgment of the Oni has also a very nice attack. And the last one that we have is Tangerine, who has some heal capabilities, but don't be fooled because she's no angel. She can also attack and has some bonuses when she shields herself. She also does more damage, so she can power herself up to do more. So she's more than a healer. She has some tricks up her sleeve, and also in her cards she can keep you busy with her little dolls that she can throw around and can explode.
Yeah, and these are called kumquats, which I think is quite cute. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they've ran out of small little animals, and now they're just moving over to small little fruits.
Yeah.
Kumquats are quite adorable fruits. So yeah.
So yeah, that's sort of the 8 characters that you get. Yeah, and they really made sure that that these new characters have abilities that fit right into the game. The aesthetics look nice. Like I think like if people would ask, are Parvati and 8-Ball now out of the game? I think we will see them back when new expansions come out, because Hexadome Tactics has already 8-Ball in it, so I expect he will come back. Same goes for the other characters.
Yeah, they definitely have plenty of IP to work with around here, so I don't see why that they would not make cards for them, especially since the cards are so similar.
But I can be for certain, if you have Aristea lying about and you have the expansions from Aristea, yes, you could put them in the game, but they're not the same. I think, like I said, the cards and the profiles have been updated. So I think people could. I would rather wait for the new expansions to come out and not mix and match your game. Although I hope they, like with Aristea, pretty late to the game they introduced a multiplayer where you can play with 4 people. I hope they also do it for Hexadome, because I have some nice board games laying around for 2 players, but that's the least board games that I pick up, because when I play board games I mostly play with 4 or more people.
Yeah.
So if they want to go into the board game area, I think Hexadome
have a multiplayer. And if you're able to play with 4 people total, then you can potentially onboard 3 people at once.
Yeah.
Instead of having to take 3 individual games. So that makes a lot of sense from a onboarding perspective.
Like compared to Moonstone, that you can also play with 3 and 4 players. And when I play Moonstone, I want to play with 3 or 4 players, because I like the chaos of people coming from all sides and a little bit of politics to get people to attack another person or look weaker, or
what changes did they make to Aristea to make it be playable with 4 people?
They added extra boards, and people could play with just 2 characters. So there were still 8 miniatures on the board, but everyone had 2.
Okay. And that was it, right? So you could potentially already do that.
Yeah.
Now, if you wanted to.
Yeah, I think they will probably have there were different scoring missions. Either you co-op or you had like the free for all. So you have to check with a bit with the scoring and such.
Yeah.
I bought the multiplayer box, but I've never played the multiplayer in the end.
All right, because I have a Christmas lunch coming up in December, and I'll see if I can figure that out. That would be a good thing to do if you have a couple beers and
yeah. Then
Christmas lunch with the painting nerds.
I think it probably gets at that point a bit more beer and pretzely, because if you play the 4 characters, you're trying to make the perfect team. But if you got 2, like that's just 2 that need to synergize with each other. So it's less of a big ask. You just have 2 to control 2.
Yeah.
And the missions get a bit more chaotic. So I hope they will come out with a multiplayer.
I hope so too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have nothing else intelligent to add. I didn't add much intelligence anyway, but I don't have any other smart questions to add.
No.
To our conversation at this time.
Well, then my last word in would be say that I was pleasantly surprised by the overall feel of it. I think they modernized on an earlier draft. Arstea was the first draft. This is the second. I hope the name Hexadome does more to a general audience than Arstea did, because it's pretty nice to read the booklet and then just open the Hexadome Legends, and then like the first paragraph they already talk about Arstea being a thing. So in the rules they mentioned it as being that in the story it's still called Arstea, but as to sell it to a general audience, Hexadome is probably a better name to go with.
Yeah, I don't think Arstea was that good of a name, if I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't have any idea what it was when I first heard it. I was like, what? This sounds a bit more like Tina Turnery, right? You have the
Thunderdome.
Thunderdome, you have the Hexadome, which is like, all right, cool, man. The Corvus Belli designers have always loved their pop culture references, so I think this is a little bit closer to it.
Yeah, and with Legends, you have the League of Legends, so people know, you have some characters and you fight with. Yeah, that's the League of Legends thing. I think that's where they go with the appeal. Yeah, and also with the big, you will be entertained. Well, I was. It worked. I had a fun game.
Yeah. All right, I'm considering getting this. Yeah, I think I'll shell out and pay for this. I think I might as well have to.
Yeah, it's worth it. I think. Yeah, the models look nice. The game is nice. It's not that beer and pretzely, but yeah, I think Corvus Belli needs to come with a little bit of deepness and layers that we expect from Infinity and Warcrow. So we should expect it also from a Hexadome game.
Yeah.
So yeah.
All right.
Go out and pre-order it, people.
Don't be lazy. Go out and get it.
I bet that for $1.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna pre-order it now. All right.
Yeah.
All right. But yeah. Thank you very much for the conversation, Raymond.
Yeah. All right. Well, listeners, thanks for joining in. Enjoy Hexadome Legends when it comes out, and roll lots of crits and happy hunting.
Take care.